What is good, y'all? Yes, we are going to be looking at another SCP. This is SCP-096. I'm trying to 6'9" someone, though. I don't give a damn anymore, bro. I'm horny as a bitch. Alright, y'all. All seriousness for all seriousness. SCP-096. Let's see what the fuck this is.
Let's start with the basics.
Who's that fake-ass Voldemort? Nigga, who's that, Stephen Strange? Oh my god, man.
Bodily proportions.
Daunting size.
While mostly humanoid in shape, the Shy Guy has long dangling arms that almost reach the ground.
Dangling?
Its body is thin and hairless, with opaque, clear, white pupilless eyes and a wide, gaping mouth. It is a truly chilling...
Who is that, Ron Weasley? The thing is, like, these SCP niggas, what would you even do fighting against these niggas, bro? Like, why do they create them to be, like, basically immortal? The last nigga was, like, a fake-ass Santa Claus, and this nigga looks like, I don't know, bro. He looks like he can just kill you with one swift of his fucking wrist or some shit. How do you beat these things?
An abomination that conjures up nightmares just to look at it. And we mean that literally.
What is he doing?
You don't want to look at this thing. And we'll get to why in a moment.
Nigga, I've already looked at it.
SCP-096 doesn't really do much during an average day. Usually, this tall, spindly humanoid entity will spend its downtime just aimlessly pacing around in its containment cell.
So it just walks around.
And perhaps occasionally taking a nap. Pretty relatable,
lazy ass nigga.
Especially if you've been trapped in your college dorm room during the lockdown. But if some unlucky soul
that nigga ain't doing not one bit of studying.
SCP-096, specifically its horrible face, that's when the monster starts to act very differently.
What is he doing? Sucking dick?
What is looking at SCP-096
wait. Y'all chill out.
Even glancing at a blurry, distorted photo of it or watching security footage of the creature can have the same deadly result. You see, the moment SCP-096's face is seen, the wiry monster will know. When this happens, the creature suffers what appears to be a psychological meltdown.
Why does it keep doing that?
Its huge claw-like hands and weeping.
Oh, you trying to throw hands? What's up?
Utterly inconsolable and suffering from extreme emotional distress, eventually the creature will...
So you telling me this nigga just cries until, nigga, what is this? Be unable to take it anymore. What the fuck does that mean? What is it about to do?
Be unable to take it anymore. Standing up, SCP-096 will then travel towards whoever dared to look at it, using anomalous speed to hunt down the person that saw its face. The Foundation has proven that it is unquestionably impossible for anyone to hide from SCP-096. Literally nothing can stand in its path as it tracks down its victim. Not walls or locked doors. Even being aboard a boat in the middle of the ocean or in a plane in mid-air can prevent it from finding you.
How?
When it does find you, it's not a pleasant sight. SCP-096 will kill
what if you get
the
like a
person
spaceship or some
without
shit?
leaving any detectable trace on their body. The monster is impervious to gunfire and all other forms of conventional weaponry. It can't be killed
nigga's
or
invincible?
even so much as harmed. Even if the Shy Guy is only seen as a tiny little speck in a photograph, this will be enough to trigger the creature's relentless defense mechanism.
So you can't look at this nigga in person, in photographs, videos, nigga. I'm looking at the nigga right now.
So because of this, the SCP Foundation's only real way to keep the creature safely locked up is in an airtight steel cube with no...
So you're telling me that he can't escape from an airtight steel cube, but he can just jump up and reach you if you're on a goddamn airplane. Nigga, what the hell is the damn common sense is that?
Security cameras or surveillance tools of any kind. All members of personnel are reminded that they are to never, ever look at it. But
you know somebody fucked up.
What if somehow someone was able to neutralize SCP-096's anomalous abilities? Or was resistant to being killed when the creature inevitably tracked them down?
He's that small?
This is how the tale known as Picture Perfect begins. What do you think, boys? Is she a beauty or what?
Is that Cloud?
Dr. Clef proclaimed to a group of his fellow high-ranking Foundation researchers. The group looked in confusion
Cloud Strife came in here and beat his ass.
Had been referring to, namely a photograph that
nigga,
he
why
just
is there
hung up
a
on the
dog
wall
there?
of his office. A photo of what, though? Well, a 4-foot by 5-foot picture of none other than SCP-096, of course. Naturally, the other researchers shared a mixture of shock and dismay at what Clef had just done.
Hell nah.
As you would if one of your co-workers hung up a photo of a creature that could kill you just for looking at that said photo.
Like if somebody was like, "Hey, bro, look at this," and there was this nigga right here, and then he just appeared. I'm smoking that nigga. I don't give a damn.
Just a number of staff members from around the SCP Explained office that
look at what he did to these niggas.
Let's just say the Christmas party last year was not that fun. Dr. Clef had long been one of the more enigmatic and mysterious scientists working at the Foundation.
He tricked him.
With the exception of the elusive and infamous O5 Council. Alto Clef is formerly
Look at them just skip past that. What the fuck was that?
As well as being known to be a bit of a gun enthusiast and all-around crazy wildcard. Clef earned his own brand of infamy for his rumored practice of brutally decommissioning dangerous SCPs. And you can probably guess what we mean by that. He's the Foundation's go-to executioner and a specialist in dealing with reality-bending anomalies. Would you expect any less from an ex-GOC?
Is this a Rick-level threat?
Joining Clef in his office were the likes of Dr. Jack Bright, another infamous Foundation researcher. Dr. Bright, also known as SCP-963-2, was assigned to conduct experiments on an anomalous amulet.
He's an SCP?
SCP-963, which resulted in his death at the hands of SCP-076.
Nigga, SCP can be actual human niggas? What the fuck are damn SCP? Bro, can I be an SCP if I wanted to? Fuck it, bro. I'm fucking SCP 2017 then. You got me fucked up. I'm the most unstoppable, strong, black man SCP you guys have ever seen in your goddamn lives, bro. You can just fucking say SCP in some random ass long drawn out number, and you too can be one as well, bro. My powers are fucking flying, super speed. I can shoot webs out of my asshole. I can shoot webs out of my wrist. I can literally do anything I fucking want because I'm an SCP, my niggas. I don't give a damn anymore.
However, anomalous properties of the amulet gave Bright the ability to inhabit new bodies.
This nigga Doctor Strange.
Specifically, anyone who also touches the amulet, which kills the host and allows Bright to take control of their body. While technically immortal, Dr. Bright
go straight to Zendaya and be like, touch this, ma'am, touch this.
Often seeking out death and wanting to know exactly what it feels like. Also present at the unveiling of Dr. Clef's photo of SCP-096 was his friendly rival, Dr. Kondraki. While usually gruff and antisocial, Kondraki is an expert in perception-based anomalies. Normally called upon by the Foundation to photograph
you can be an expert in goddamn anything these
invisible
days.
Or imperceivable. Dr. Cimmerian, a member of the Foundation's ethics committee, was on.
This nigga had to fucking assemble the Avengers to beat this nigga, bro. These are Avenger level threat niggas. One of them's Doctor Strange, one of them's the Incredible Hulk. We got damn Rocket Raccoon over here. We literally have everybody, bro.
His latest decoration.
Look at this nigga. What is that?
Strange researcher in attendance was Kane Pathos.
Don't introduce like a regular
from the
nigga.
Foundation's research department who had been transformed into a Labrador Retriever.
What?
After an experiment that, needless to say, went.
Bro, they make fun of that one picture where that dog's like, it's fine, and the whole house is on fire.
A bit awry. Crow must have been barking up the wrong tree on that one. Each of them expressed their reactions differently.
This nigga Two-Face.
Dr. Cimmerian shook his head and began to question his recent decision to stop drinking. Meanwhile, Dr. Bright looked up at the painting with a bemused tilting of his head. He wondered if SCP-096 would come to kill him, and if it did, would it only do so once, or would the creature try again and again each time that Bright inhabited a new body? Perhaps in an attempt to look away from the photo,
that nigga's power kind of broken.
Covered his
Why isn't this nigga scared?
Why? Clef excitedly exclaimed that the photo was meant to be in celebration of SCP-096 finally having been neutralized. And according to the scientists, they were free to look at the creature's ugly mug all they wanted.
What?
The group stared in horror at the gaping mouth, the screaming expression of the monster that had killed so many people. Not one of them shared in Dr. Clef's enthusiasm. Some, like
nigga,
Bright
who
and
would?
Peter, simply argued that the picture was creepy, while others voiced far greater concerns. Kane argued that putting up a photo of SCP-096 was in poor taste, that it was massively disrespectful to all
he's trying to like post that shit worldwide.
Had killed over the years. It was also reckless and dangerous, Dr. Cimmerian added. It had not yet been a full 24 hours since SCP-096's apparent death.
He died?
If the creature was somehow able to come back to life, it could kill every researcher in the office. By showing them this so-called masterpiece, Clef had put all of his co-workers' lives at risk. He shrugged off their concerns of the creature coming back to life, despite knowing that this was entirely possible. After all, it wasn't just anomalies and SCPs.
My nigga, what is this fake-ass comic book story they're talking about? What is going on right now?
Capable of the same. Even some of the researchers in that very room had died at least once. Dr. Clef claimed that, should the worst happen and SCP-096 return to life, they could simply forget its face with amnestics. Clef claimed that they were now free of SCP-096's anomalous powers, thanks to the creature's termination. But the 4 men and 1 dog in his office with him failed to share his enthusiasm. The group then began debating why the Foundation even needed to neutralize SCP-096
all these damn
in the
army
first place,
soldiers,
with its containment purely hinged on nobody ever looking at the creature.
He could be contained by putting a sack over his head,
Dr. Bright pointed out, met with murmurs of
nigga, I'm gonna beat your ass for bringing me in here.
There could be photos of him from before he was contained,
nigga, who is that,
or someone
Crunk?
could get a hold of the photos we already have of him, Dr. Clef argued back. If they did something like hack Markiplier's YouTube account,
I was about to say, who the fuck is that Markiplier, bro? That's crazy to me. Why?
Over. The Shy Guy would breach containment with millions of -1s to kill all over the world. And that kind of rampage would guarantee he'd have cameras pointed on him 24/7. Exposure would grow exponentially until the bastard slaughtered most of the civilization. As far as I'm concerned, he should have been classified as Getter from the start. But Bright argued back, stating that the Foundation had no real cause to kill SCP-096. They already had a clear understanding that the Shy Guy's anomalous behaviors were only even triggered by somebody observing it, and preventing that from happening was pretty easy.
Cut the nigga's head off.
Killing the creature just seemed excessive, cruel even. Sumerian chimed in again, saying that killing SCP-096 was something the Global Occult Coalition would do, and the Foundation still hadn't learned all they could about 096. Could someone survive looking at the creature if they were in space or another dimension?
That nigga would jump right the fuck up there somehow.
Dr. Gears pointed out that the Foundation had no clue what SCP-096's exact origin was, where the creature had come from, if it was the only one of its kind, or whether it was a part of a species of similar monsters.
There has to be multiple
niggas
niggas
like the Shy Guy could exist in the future. They could cause a global catastrophe. But despite all the points raised by his colleagues, Dr. Clef didn't want to hear any of what they had to say. Alright, I hear what you're all saying, but shut up! The Shy Guy was a sword of Damocles dangling over the whole world. We killed him, and we're gonna celebrate that by doing the one thing we could never do while he was alive. Looking at his face each and every day for the rest of our lives, so that we never forget what we've won and could have lost. The four researchers and the one who had been turned into a dog all took a moment to consider Clef's argument, more courtesy than he had extended to them. They all looked up at the haunting, grotesque face of SCP-096 once more. As much as they protested the decision to have the creature killed, each of them secretly hoped it stayed neutralized. Especially now that Clef was using SCP-096's photo as an office decoration. If the creature ever managed to come back, anyone that set foot in Clef's office and looked at the picture was as good as dead. Finally, Dr. Kondraki spoke up and threatened to resign Clef.
Nigga, that one nigga had a whole ass amulet. He is not dying.
First drafts of SCP reports by junior researchers. For a moment, Clef thought his rival was bluffing, but eventually decided it was better to be safe than sorry. As the Gun-Ho Foundation scientist begrudgingly pulled the photo from his office wall, he muttered to the group, "Oh, none of you appreciate postmodern art. Now go check out SCP-096 Shy Guy Escape Incident 096-1.
So this one was about a dead-ass SCP? Holy shit, bro. There's multiple fucking... What is going on? Look at a picture of Shy Guy in space. What is happening right now, bro? Alright, that is SCP-096, basically an SCP where if you look at it, he does nothing but relentlessly try to kill you. That's interesting, but I feel like there's a lot of ways you can easily just beat this nigga. Like, just say for some reason you have a damn rocket launcher. I'm sure you can't catch you on the boat. I'm sure you can't catch you on the airplane, because they didn't say this nigga was like super powered. Like, he'd be way too fucking broken if anything. But that is SCP-096. I'm getting the fuck up out of here. Check on your strong friends, pray for your enemies, not religious, at least wish them well. I'll see y'all in the next one. Yeah.